Hello, everyone, and welcome one more time to an update of the Monstatek M1. It's the Flipper Zero Killer. It's the Flipper Zero what? So are we going to see this unit or not? So comments have been coming in from the developers, the owners of the project. And this video, I'm going to talk about what I see, what I read. I'm going to try to give you my overall perspective too. When we're going to see this unit land in our hands, and what is the actual delay we're looking into, and what is actually going on. So let's try and decipher, the answers this time from the last update video. We're still on update number 18, but now we have some comments from the developers, and let's see what's going on now. So the overall update from update number 18 talked about, I think FCC compliance, molds, and some process, FCC compliance and stuff like that. And the text doesn't really mention anything about the update 18 here, about, shipping dates and estimations and so on. Now, already we are getting close to more than half a year delays, and I know many of you guys that back this project are getting eager to get some actual evidence, we can probably call it that, to point in the direction that this project is actually kicking off. Now, let me just first, start talking about, will this project kick off? I think it will. I do, however, think that the guys from Monstatek are pretty bad at this estimation and so on. Even so, I know how many problems there can be creating new projects, also in the area of the gray zone with some hacking, radio signals. What are we actually creating here? So how can they market this? What is the actual description of the device? I know there are different kind of laws and compliance rules they have to obey in order to get this product to another country. But even so, you could probably imagine that these guys behind it should probably have done a better job of actually, researching what are these issues. Okay, so we know that, Flipper Zero had a lot of delays as well, and other projects there also have a lot of delays. But we are seeing projects like the Aircrack-ng Nano, which is already now open for pre-order. And we're also seeing other projects kicking off really fast because they did their work better. So I want to highlight some of the things that I think it's Sophie here, H, that actually talks about, some of the things and updates. So we are having comments here down below. And this is basically what I'm going to talk about here, is that people beginning to talk about from July 2024 to Q3 2025. Now, this is an interesting text because I actually just recently scrolled down and saw this, and I just revisited the text they posted, and it doesn't mention anything about Q3. Okay, so I began to scroll down just a bit more, and I have no idea what, what actually was written here by this guy, so I have no idea. But there is a guy here that also got his comment removed, the same guy actually, asking about when he could get their orders, and Sophie is actually see below. And here below is actually a question, so when we can expect to receive our orders in the USA? And the answer is preparation for production is well underway. Well, I guess. Our current target is to begin shipping into Q3 2025. If progress continues as planned, there's a possibility we may be able to deliver ahead of schedule. One factor that could influence the timeline is the FCC certification process, which we're actively preparing for. While this step may introduce some variability, please be assured that we're committing to delivering rewards and will update you on the shipping dates as we progress. So this message here by Sophie answered. I want to be 100% clear right now. It is a really bad idea by you, Sophie, to post details as a comment should be mentioned in the update text or even a new update number 19. So mentioning these important details as a comment is a well-deserved thumbs down for me. Okay, so they're still mentioned. So we're looking into some stuff about well on the way. So they're still saying, sure, maybe. And they're talking about Q3. So Q3 is within the 3 months from now, I think it is. This is like July, August, something like that, and September-ish. So yeah, it is in those kind of months, right? Okay. So let's say they ship that in the latest of Q3 or the earliest of Q3. If it's the earliest of Q3, we can probably have it in July, early August. If it's the latest, it's probably late August, September-wise, something like that. If that is the overall plan right now, and they say if progress continues to plan, there's a possibility we will be able to deliver ahead of schedule. I highly doubt that. However, she wrote it. One factor, blah, 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 still the FCC certification process. I know this is a thing. Take some time. But I still say the same thing. No matter how much you shake the ball in the air, and no matter how much you say, I think, maybe, why don't you come up with some actual video material showing the unit, showing us, the backers, this is the thing, we have something working, right? It's not ready to be shipped. We're gonna talk to you, real people, and not these incredibly boring images just to make these, I don't know, 4x4 square images with hands, nails that are very nasty and weird molds. Looks like some 3D printed that's been, sanded, and I would say I do make better prints than this, with my FDM printer, even if I sand it. And I know that, this looks like something that's been, digged down in the sand, pulled up again. This angle looks a lot better. I don't know why, but this looks like sorry bad shit. Okay, so I just have to say, like, you gotta do better than now. Are there any more comments, talking about all this stuff here? Same one again. Yeah, so some guy here says, like, considering the money write-off, I believe it wasn't a scam when the devices are in your hand. So there's an actual answer here. Jellup is an official advertising partner of Kickstarter since 2015. That assisted over 6,000 creators. Notable examples include Flipper Zero, Peak Design, Travel Tripod, blah, blah, blah. All that. I have no idea what this is all about, and some text here probably backing up the thing, but I just don't. So there's one here. This is 100%. We already know they're delayed. Tell us something else. And thank you for the feedback. But we understand and agree. Moving forward, focus on more sharing milestones and progress updates. Please, focus on videos. Focus on creating stuff that show this device is here and stuff like that. This is what people are gonna say. I created numerous of videos like this, and people, they just don't listen. I think, I'm gonna... Okay, so there's actually a thing here that they are proactively working on to avoid and minimize any negative impact on backers caused by tariff situation. I think what's gonna be a problem here for many of us, including myself, is that we have something called import tax in Denmark. And whenever stuff are being shipped from outside the EU, it's going to be taxed. And there's a high chance that, the tax is going to be incredibly high for me to even get the device. I must be honest, I don't think I will pay that. So the general idea by tax in Denmark is that, if it's valued to $100, it's going to be taxed $100 plus more, right? So I'm not going to pay that again just to get it. And I want to be totally brutally honest here, this is just going to be the way it is, because it's going to be incredibly, incredibly expensive for you to get it. Will I end up just doing it anyways? I've been there, but I really hope they're going to find a way to, make this go. And this one here is going to thank you for suggestion regarding using the video shipments under her appreciate blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. They keep saying the same thing, so I believe that this is actually going to happen, but I don't know when. And this is the problem. We are not seeing any good updates, from Monstatek, and I'm pretty negative in my video. I know that, but this is also just one of those incredibly bad managed projects out there with a little thing. Nonetheless, we are actually seeing other projects, surfacing at the moment that are getting an upgrade. We are looking at something called Flipper 1 that's been announced before. I have never really been talking about it, but it's something that people have been to talk about in videos, other creators as well. Not going to mention the names, but Flipper 1 is also a thing that's going to be out there and is going to totally remove the fact of these units. So even though this is just a copy paste of the Flipper 0, just in a slight better, software and hardware area, there's a need for other devices out there with even more better hardware, better screen, and so on. So what I hope to see is someone using, actual smaller, bigger displays that might be, a bit more, I don't know, you can say like this size. You could probably say like, I don't know how big that is to you, but like, let's say 3 to 5 centimeters, color display with a better battery life and more software running a version of Linux and so on to get access to more embedded device tools. These are the things that people are probably looking for, and I've actually been looking at creating a project like that. But for this device, I think it's going to be probably a bit late now. And I want to estimate that, even though that we look into the project of this, I'm gonna do my best to still receive it, but if the import tax is gonna be great and big, I will decline it and basically not get the reward. So that's it for me. This video, I really hope that you got some sort of information from it, and I honestly believe this project is gonna deliver, but when I probably it'll be, I don't know. It's the way it is.